Good morning. It's Cami here. How are you doing today? Whenever you're watching this in replay or live, I hope that you will let me know you're here by putting your comment, letting me know you're here and saying, hey. So my name is Cami Heiza, and I am the CEO of Zoetica Media and founder of Smart Social Secrets. We are an agency and training company, and I am really excited to be here today because I have some beef around people that are having trouble with putting together their client list. And so I've had some of my friends that are also agency owners and consultants say, it's really hard sometimes to keep up with having enough clients in your queue so that you are always busy. And when you have your own business, that happens. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about that, although it applies to any kind of business. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and definitely let me know if you're here. Okay. So, I see a couple of eyeballs, so let me know if you're here. Let me just really quickly share my screen. This is my sort of funnel, I guess, that I'm going to talk through. And I'm going to do the first 3 this week and the second 3 next week, because it's kind of a long presentation that I do for a lot of people that have me come out and talk about this particular thing, which is really about this pathway that you want to send your clients through, a funnel, I guess you could call it, but really a customer pathway to get people into your world. And people ask me all the time, how do you find people on social media? How do you get them into your world? Well, this is how I get them into my world. It's a really easy 6-step process. I mean, obviously, ease is a term of whatever. You're going to have to do some work. So I don't believe in doing something for nothing, but definitely I'll walk you through my process so that you can then apply it to your own company, your own business, whether you were an employee, like trying to bring people in through social media. So the first step is really visibility content. That's where you're out there, you're getting seen, people are starting to connect with you online, and you can do it in various different ways. Like what I'm doing here, you can do a live stream, or you can do content that's more produced, or you can do blog posts, podcasts. There's so many different platforms. In fact, if you're here and you have a platform already that you're using for visibility, definitely let me know in the comments what you are doing, but you need to pick that first. And so we'll talk about that today. Then we're going to talk about the quick win that you're going to give people so that they start to get into your world, that they start to get to know who you are and you get to know who they are. And it's a really relationship that starts building between you and the people that you talk with. And then the third thing we're going to talk about today is how you collect those leads. I'll tell you how I do mine, but in the end of the day, you have to have an email list. It's just it's a necessary evil, if you want to call it that, but you must have an email list because all of these social media platforms could change at any moment, and they do. And people also migrate. So, where your audience might have used to have been on Facebook, for example, they may suddenly migrate over to Instagram and mostly be there. And so you may not have the same followers, you may not have the same, that kind of thing in that particular platform. So you want to think about your platforms that you're on being kind of like, and people say it all the time, rented land, but really that is the platform. The platform is the place where you're just kind of like hanging out in the street corner, talking to people. It's a public square. You can't own it, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about bringing them into your world. So these are the 3 steps we're going to cover today. And then next week, we'll cover the no-brainer offer, how you solve their problem, and how you get social proof from that whole transaction side of things. So this week is about the attraction. Next week is about the transaction. Does that make sense? Cool. Awesome. So I'm going to just dive right into this. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. So again, I'm going to talk about this visibility content. You want to have some visibility content in your business, whether you be an e-commerce site or anything else. Hey, hi, Nicholas. You want to make sure you have this visibility content in your business. And so I don't know what you're doing right now for visibility. Tell me what you're doing in the comments. If you do, if you're doing something now, let me know what it is. But I'm going to run over my 4 favorite kinds of content. Okay, so the first one for me is video. I really think video right now is really hot. It's really great to be able to utilize it right now. I don't know if it'll always be super hot, but right now it is. And what I love about video at the moment is I can take one piece of video and turn it into all kinds of content, including written content. So I mean, video has really become my go-to in this last couple of years. And really, that's one. So I like live video like this, what I'm doing with you now, but you can do produced video too. There's some great ways to do that, especially if you have those skills, right? If you have those video skills, it costs more money to do produce video, but you may have a bigger result if you have a bigger brand, right? So just scale this to where you are in your journey and do it that way. Cool. So definitely your video is going to be like my favorite. My second favorite is audio. And I have a podcast had for many years with Madeline Sklar. And I'm actually doing some really cool podcasting stuff right now that is just about to come out. I just released my course as a podcast not too long ago to students, to former students. And I am going to start releasing my monthly newsletter called Smart Social Sparks as a podcast as well. So I write up the Sparks newsletter and then I release it in segments. And the way that Sparks works is I do updates about all kinds of social media platforms and features that have changed. So I'll do one episode for each platform. So Instagram will get one, Twitter will get one, and so on. And so I have the entire thing. In fact, I just finished recording the first one last night. So audio is my second favorite. And especially if you're talking about a podcast, that's really great. There's also ways to do private podcasts now where you can send it out, which is what I did for my course. There's a tool called Hello Audio that I have been using. You should definitely check it out. If you need the link from me or whatever, I am an affiliate with them, but all you have to do is go to helloaudio.com and you can kind of check it out from there. Love that so much. And thank you about Sparks, Nick. And it's coming out. It's a little bit slow this month because I've added the audio pieces to it. So I'm adding some new things. So I'm very excited about that. So audio is great. And then the other part about audio is like Spaces and Clubhouse and some other places like that are actual platforms that are audio only, which I think are really interesting too. So those are really kind of interesting content, as you put it, that you can use. Now, the problem I think with Spaces and Clubhouse is that you can go in, you talk, and then you don't have anything to share again. So that's why I don't really spend as much time on those, because they aren't as effective with my time. And I'm running a business and I have a team and I'm servicing clients and we have all of these things going on. So I want to make sure that I have the most efficient flow for me. So your flow may be different. Again, a podcast could be great for you because you don't want to get on video. You don't want to step out in front of that and put on your makeup and make sure you're okay, or if you do makeup or whatever, and make sure you have everything in order. But a podcast is a great way to go. Third thing is really around images, photography, graphics. Okay, so there's a lot of people that build their entire online presence around infographics or really great photography. If you're a photographer, that would be a great plan for you to use photography as your vehicle. And so, that's a great way to go to. And then the fourth thing I have on here is what I call pillar content. It's very hard to read, but it's called pillar content. It's on the bottom of your screen in the corner. And what that really is blog posts, right? Like very big blog posts. So there are now blog posts that you can do that are, 1,000 to 2,000 words. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's pillar content. And I'm sure you've landed on it before, because when you search for something in Google, they will give you this pillar content is the top 10 results. Right now, it's really the way it works. And it's basically the comprehensive outline of a particular topic. So you may want to consider some of that too, plus just blogging in general. I know that my friend Nick Wolney does a lot of blogging on Medium and has really grown that platform for himself. Again, rented land, so it makes me a little nervous. I kind of like to own my own stuff, and that's awesome. So anyway, these are 4 ways you can do it now. So tell me in the comments, Nick, you haven't told me what your content is. What is your content going to be? Anyway, so tell me in the comments what your content is. And even if you want to put a link to it, I'll go check it out. So that would be great. So that's number 1, is having some kind of content. And it can't just be sharing things, although you can aggregate. Again, like I told you, Smart Social Sparks is an aggregation of other coverage of social media. Like I go and get all the different coverage and put it together in one place for you so that way you don't have to do it yourself. And so you can actually, if you really want that, by the way, you can get it on my Twitter account, twitter.com/Cami, Kamichat. It's down here in the corner. You can see it here, Cami Chat. And then you can, it's my pinned tweet at the moment. So definitely go check that out. And you can definitely click in my flow code to get it, which is just basically there as well. So in the end of the day, you need to have this visibility content for your brand. Figure out what it is, choose one thing, and then you have to be consistent about putting it out there. So whatever that consistency is for you, for me, it's like coming here every Thursday and live streaming. The only time I don't live stream here on a Thursday is if I have another event on this day, which today I kind of broke my rule because I have an event right after this. I'm doing a Twitter chat, but generally speaking, I will be here every Thursday live streaming or somewhere. So I'm going to have some visibility on a Thursday, including things like speaking at conferences. So over time, your platform will grow, like the places where you can put all this out. But in the beginning, it doesn't even matter if no one's there listening. All you need to do is get here and deliver the content, and then you can use this content over and over and over again. And believe me, it is a great way to go. And you can also run ads to it. There's a bunch of cool stuff you can do if you do a live stream for sure. But in the end of the day, you need to be consistent. So if it's once a month, like Sparks is once a month. If it's once a week, that's great. Here I am. If your blog posts say you do 2 per month, that could work. So you need to decide what your cadence is and then just keep it up. And then over time, and you have to kind of run the long race, you will start to build an audience. You will start to build interest in what you do. So you have to just keep putting it out there and putting it out there. Okay, so I've said enough about putting it out there, right? So let's go to the next slide. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed like right now, so take a breath and realize that you really only have to do one of these things, okay? So again, pick one. If you do too much, you will get overwhelmed. I've done it, I know. I tend to be an overdoer. So definitely you want to pick one thing and just stay with it consistently. You'd be really surprised at how much it will actually grow over time if you do that. Okay, so you just need a simple plan, and we're going through that now, but I'm showing you kind of my funnel at the moment. This is actually all the places where I am at the moment, and I have now boiled it down to one video. So yeah, I actually multi-stream to many, many different places, and then I take that video, I turn it into a blog post as well. So I'll take it, I'll embed it, I'll put it in this blog post, and then I will send people to quick wins from there. So not all blog posts or videos will have like a quick win or a place for you to go, but most of the time I will do that. So there you go. Let's talk about the quick win. So once you have content out there, you want to start thinking about how to deliver a quick win for your audience. How can you give them something that they will love and that they will be able to consume and also put into practice and get a result? So the key is the result there, okay? So in the end of the day, if you can talk all day, but if people don't get results with your content, you are not going to get them in as a lifelong fan. That's not going to happen unless they're getting some kind of results from you. So think about what you can offer that will give people a result. It does not have to be fancy. It just has to be, actually in some ways, the easier it is to do, the better, because if they can just get it and consume it and then do it and get an immediate result, that's going to make them really, really excited about what else that you have to offer. So that quick result is really important. So make it valuable. I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. Make it valuable content. So checklists, worksheets, et cetera, are okay as long as they are like action oriented rather than just information, oriented. You can give out discovery calls, free discovery calls where you are solving a specific problem, not like call me and see how we can have a sale, but more like call me and let's work through one problem that you have that you need to overcome and let's get it solved, right? A get it solved call. That would be kind of cool, right? To call it a get it solved call. Anyway, I digress. And the third thing is training. You can offer a webinar or a training. I often offer master classes. So I will put together a master class sometimes with a specific topic. Like during the pandemic, I did a master class on pivoting. During the pandemic, so many companies and brands were trying to pivot, and I have a really great framework for pivoting. So I shared that, and people really loved it. And then, of course, I had a course that was coming up, and some people chose to take the course after they watched the pivoting masterclass. So there's a lot of things you can do to give people a quick win and a taste of what you do. So right now I'm using Sparks a lot. That's one of my quick wins at the moment. You can sign up for Sparks and get this one email per month that tells you everything that's going on in social media. And since it was a little bit overwhelming because it's so much, I actually also turned it into a little mini podcast. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully you guys will check that out. Anyway, that being said, and maybe I'll grab the link because that would be, so good for me to show you that, is the quick win. So that quick win is the second thing. You first have some content, then you have a quick win in place that, if they start digging into your stuff at all, they'll see that quick win, they'll be able to use it. Another quick win, I think I have my example here. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, is my 2x2. I know, Nicholas, you know the 2x2 by heart by now, but the 2x2 is one of my quick wins for people that are really trying to start to stand out on social media, and they're kind of just feeling like they're not getting much attention. Maybe they're putting a lot of content out, but they don't feel like it's getting any attention. And one of the things that I teach is this idea of engagement. So it's really about you going out to them instead of them coming to you. And you can grab this 2x2 at this bit.ly address. But basically it's 2 conversations today, 2 conversations per day, and 2 replies or comments per day. And I really, urge people to set like a 15-minute timer and then go out into their social media channel of their choice and really engage, initiate conversations, ask questions, respond to somebody else's comment, share something from somebody else. Those 4 things alone will absolutely explode your social media presence in a very short period of time. It's kind of magical in some ways how this can really work for your brand, because you can take this engagement. And here's the funny thing about any kind of social media platform. They actually show your stuff that you put out on your channels based on the engagement that you've had in that channel. I'll say that again. They're looking for engagement, and not just comments on the post. They're looking for people that, are you DMing them? Are you contacting them? Are you connecting with them in different ways? They start to know that you are somebody that other people want to hear from. That person wants to hear from you. That person wants to hear from you. And so they'll start showing your feed more, even if you're talking in DMs. It's crazy. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like after you've DM'd somebody, suddenly you see their posts in Facebook or in Instagram. It's really common. Just kind of keep your eyes open to that. You'll see that it happens. So what I do with this 2x2, it's a really easy gift, because I have 6 emails, and the 6 emails teach you how to do the 2x2. And I send them out over, I drip them out over 3 days. Like I send one out, and then 3 days later another, and then 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. And that way, people can do the entire 2x2. And in each email, I give them another task, like do this, do this, do this. And I get very specific on how to do this. And then at the end of it, of course, they're on my email list. But the bottom line is that they have this, these 6 messages. I've also thought about turning this one into a mini podcast too, which I might do. Haven't done that yet. But so yeah, this is a really easy way. And I didn't even make a handout. I just, basically, well, I do have a handout, but not for this. I made it later for the course. But in the end of the day, I just tell people how to do it. I tell them exactly how to do it. And I give them some things to listen to, some podcasts I've done in the past. I give them some stuff so they'll understand the whole concept. So what can you do that maybe even repurposes some of the stuff you've already done? See, I just told you I've repurposed some things inside of the 2x2 that I've already done. You don't always have to reinvent the wheel. I just actually ran into this the other day. I was trying to reinvent something for this new thing I'm doing. And I was like, oh, I have this thing I've already come up with. So go back and make an inventory of all the content you've already done. If it's, a ton, then it might take some time, but, don't let it stop you. But if you have a lot of content out there, why aren't you using it? Why aren't you using it to really, really connect with people? So there you go. The next thing that you would do, so we have now, we've talked about like, your visibility content, what you're going to do to like attract people, and the quick win that you're going to put together to give them once you've attracted them so that you can get them into your world. And then getting them into your world is all about email. And yes, email is a necessary evil in the world. That's the way I look at email. I'm not a big fan of email, but email is really important. And so I use ConvertKit. The reason I use it is because I can tag people with different kinds of interests. I can even do like a cool little quiz saying like, what is your biggest interest? And if you click on it, it'll add a tag to you, so I can then send you information about that thing. And you can have like up to, I think, 1,000 now. Yeah, 1,000 people on your list for free, which is something I really, really love about ConvertKit. So I have the bit.ly link here for you to get to ConvertKit really easily if you want to. And that has just been, I love, 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 love ConvertKit for that reason. And it's real simple too. Like, if you're doing a sequence, like I told you, that sequence I do, the 2x2 sequence, it opens up a screen and then you can just write your emails, right down the page. And it makes it so easy to make sure all of that's in order and exactly the way you want it. They also do visual things. They also let you have landing pages, which are really cool. So you can then, offer your free thing without having to have any other tech. So it's really cool. Cool. So that's ConvertKit. So those are the 3 steps I'm going to go over today. I actually have another event right after this, but hopefully that helps you to get an idea. Actually, I'm going to come back here to me. Helps you to get an idea of the first 3 steps, how you can attract people and get them into your world. And then next week, I am definitely going to do the other 3 steps, which are also critically important. I'm kind of going back to that screen so I can show you, which are the no-brainer offer. Like, how do you come up with an offer for those people? So you may already have an offer, or you may need to like kind of tweak your offer a little bit to make sure that your offer is absolutely 100% on point for the people that you're trying to attract. And then you're going to solve their problem. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the delivery side, making sure that customer service is on point, that everything is like exactly where you need it to be, so that in the end of the day, you can get those testimonials. That's where the gold is. Those testimonials, those stories of people that you have helped. Those testimonials, those stories of people that you have helped, those will help you to sell to other people, because they'll see, oh, somebody like me has done this. Otherwise, they'll be like, oh, well, Cami, that was you. You have a big audience. You have this, you have that. You have a team, whatever it is. They're going to look at me and say, oh, you're not like me. But if I can help somebody like them, and then we can tell that story, it's a 2-for-1, because number 1, for the testimonial person, they get exposure. And number 2, for the people coming into the program or whatever you're selling, they can see how somebody like them used what you do. So that is all for today. I will be back next week, same time, to teach that second half of this. And I really appreciate all of you being here, and thank you. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a really wonderful day. And hey, if you're a Twitter kind of person, join me over on Twitter for PG Chat. We're going to be talking a little bit about building an online community. Shocking. It's what I talk about. Anyway, so thanks a bunch, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.